Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson of Art and Design. Today we will look at composition. Composition is the way visual elements are positioned in a work of art. The French artist Henri Matisse defined composition as, I quote, the art of arranging in a decorative manner the diverse elements at the painter's command to express his feelings, end quote from an extract of Notes d'un peintre in a Parisian press, La Grande Revue. For Matisse, a work of art must be expressive, depicting charm, lightness, and freshness. There are 8 elements of composition: unity, balance, movement, rhythm, focus, contrast, pattern, and proportion. Let's have a look at unity. Unity in an artwork is achieved when visual elements are coherently organized. This painting of Seurat confirms the coherence in the composition. The way in which the elements of art are arranged in a composition creates visual balance equilibrium. We have 3 types of balance in a composition: symmetrical, asymmetrical, and radial. A symmetrical composition has an overall equality of size, shape, line, direction, texture, value, and color. It is capable of division into equal parts. An example is the work of Walter Crane. This fresco of Michelangelo, when bisected by an imaginary line, one side is different from the other. Yet, our eye moves from one side to the other in an even way. Thus, it is asymmetrical but balanced. Here, radial balance can be seen in the work of Chuck Elliott. It is based on a circle with its design extending from the center. Next, we have movement. The Starry Night of the artist Vincent van Gogh depicts movement through dynamic swirls and curves. Rhythm is a visual flow within an artwork. It is sometimes also referred to as a tempo, or a beat that invites the eye to enter into the journey of the artist's soul, displayed on the canvas, as can be seen in this work of Sonia Delaunay. Just like music, optical art has rhythm and movement that direct our eyes to move into the artwork. Another example is the work of Kandinsky. It is with the help of lines, shapes, color, light, and space that the artist is able to produce the rhythm which is important for the creation of the dynamic movement. Focus is that specific area where you want your viewer to focus the majority of their attention when looking at your artwork. La Grenouillère of Auguste Renoir is the perfect example, focusing people enjoying the small floating dock. Contrast is the difference between the lightest and darkest tone. This black and white still life provides the greatest degree of contrast. Pattern organizes the parts of a composition and is the repetition of shape or form. In this artwork, shapes like bird and fish are the repeating elements. Proportion is the relative size of objects or elements in relation to each other in a composition. This artwork of Leonardo da Vinci relates to how elements fit together in terms of size and scale, whether big or small, nearby or distant. Let us now move to the free grounds. A composition is usually divided into three parts: a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. The elements on the foreground are in front, biggest in size, and close to the viewer. The middle ground lies between the foreground and the background of an artwork. The objects appear small. The part that is farthest from the viewer is the background. The elements of the composition look most distant and are very small in size. Take a look at this local landscape painting of Pascal Lagesse. Can you identify the free grounds? On the foreground, we have a tree. Middle ground, we have the lagoon. And on the background, we have the Gunner's Point Island. Now, try to identify the free grounds on this still life of Louis Melendez. The foreground is the table. The piers are on the middle ground, and the kitchen vessels are on the background. In this lesson, we're going to focus on two types of composition: still life and landscape. Still life composition refers more specifically to the arrangement of different objects to represent a subject matter. An example is the work of Paul Cézanne's still life with apples. Landscape composition depicts the natural sceneries which represent the beauty that meets the eye at the work of John Constable, a very famous landscape artist in his time. Many rules define a composition. These rules are only guidelines. Let us now consider the tools we can use to get a good composition. Thumbnail sketching, viewfinder, and rule of thirds. Thumbnail sketching is a simple and effective way of exploring different layouts in making a composition. Here is another example of thumbnail sketching for a landscape composition. Next, we have the viewfinder. It is a simple device that allows you to isolate or crop a scene within a rectangular area. This is a scene from the water lily pond of the SSR Botanical Garden before using a viewfinder. You can adjust the viewfinder back and forth, left and right, and up and down, looking for the most dramatic and engaging composition. Here you are with a magnificent lotus close-up surrounded by the nenuphars. Notice how cropping the palm trees with the viewfinder makes the foreground important. Here is the selected crop view. Another tool for a good composition is the rule of thirds. It is the division of an image into thirds horizontally and vertically. This rule of thirds helps in determining where the focal point should be placed in order to achieve a dynamic composition. This painting of Cézanne projects an image which is placed at the intersection of those dividing lines or along one of the lines itself. Another example is this landscape of William Turner. In this painting, we can observe the horizon falling on the lower horizontal line and the ships intersecting along the first vertical line. Placing the ships slight off center gives the piece a sense of dynamic movement. Dear students, I hope that this lesson will help you better understand how to make effective and well-balanced compositions. Thank you for your attention, and it's goodbye from me.